Hey everyone, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel, Never Out of Books. I am never out of books. I am here to kind of give a mid-year check-in sort of deal. I would do a tag, but I don't really like them very much. I like them, but some of the questions just don't apply and it's kind of annoying to me. So maybe someday I'll make my own sort of mid-year stats tag and see how that happens, but this is not the year to do that. So I will just do my own thing. And I will say this is really specialized to me and what my goals were and not maybe necessarily what other people's goals are, but just saying. I've already exceeded my Goodreads challenge. I think I put 52 books. I have read a total of 84 books as of July 1st. I have no complaints. I just set a goal for fun and ha-has because I like the way it does a very lovely thing at the end of the year. I don't force myself to read books. I just read because I like to. But 84 books is a lot of books. I totally will say that. That's great. But I do read a lot of genre fiction and mass market paperback sort of things. So they are quick reads, and that's probably why my number is so high. I have acquired 68 books total this year. That is a mixture of both the library and purchase books. Even with the library books in there, I have read more than I have brought into my home. That makes me happy because one of my goals was to be able to fit my books on my shelves. I don't have a number TBR goal, but I like my books to fit one deep on my shelves, and right now as I'm looking over at my shameful shelves, that is not happening, but it is a very doable goal still for me to be able to fit my books on my shelves if I read properly. Of the 84 books I read, this is very surprising, but my most read genre is science fiction. That is not usually the case. So, that'll probably change by the end of the year, but it's crazy to even think. It's only by one book. I've read 13 science fiction books this year, and that's probably because of January, where I participated in a readathon. It was for the month of just reading science fiction books, and I was super motivated. So, but whatever, those were all books off my shelves and things I needed to read, so happy. My second most read are mysteries. And that is, I separate my mystery from my cozy mystery, so this is the straight mystery genre. I don't know. Things are weird this year. And on a very interesting note, I've read 9 audiobooks, which is a lot more than I normally listen to. So, bully to me, right? I think that's great. Did I do the breakdown? I don't think I did the breakdown. So I have read 47 adult books, 25 young adult, and 7 middle grade. I have not read any picture books this year. And 22 of the books that I acquired were from the library. Ratings wise, I have only given 2 books 5 stars this year so far. I know that I'm not very good at giving a 5-star rating. I don't do that very often unless it really hits the spot for me super duper, but that's a little lower than I expected. One of them was a sequel. Both of them were middle grade. So by ratings alone, I would say that my favorite book this year so far was The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. The other one was Lying Down, which is a Stuart Gibbs book that I had laughed my butt off. So, yes, that's the one I peed my pants during because I laughed so hard. Yeah, I totally will throw that out on the internet. No shame. And I also gave 2 4.5 stars. One was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, which I listened on audiobook. This one is about the author who went to try to find out about this woman, Henrietta Lacks, who does not seem to get credit for the fact that her cells are still alive in the world today and helping to cure cancer, basically. And so many questions, so much that I never even thought of. It was a very excellent book. The other 4.5 star was The Vanishing Stair. I think it's by Maureen Johnson. This is a sequel, and it is also a mystery. and I have been enjoying this series and cannot wait for the third book to come out. I don't go over my least favorite books or books that I hated because I don't want to give them any airtime. I don't like to give them anything that they, anything more than they deserve. If I didn't like them, I don't want to talk about them. So, as for what my goals were in my bullet journal here, my first goal was to fit books on my shelves one deep, be ruthless. That is not a realized dream at this moment. I did a little bit of counting up and kind of estimating, and at minimum, I need to read 16 young adult books, 5 adult books, and 4 of my mass market paperbacks, which I have on one particular shelf, in order to fit things on the shelves. This is probably underestimating, like just a little bit, but if I pick chunky books off of there, then this will be fine. But that's kind of my minimums of what I'd like to do for the second half of the year. My second goal was to read a classic. I have done that. They were short classics, but they count. So that is off of my list. I read Of Mice and Men, and I read Xingu. And the third thing was to be picky about adding books to my TBR. I think I'm doing fairly well with this. I did want to include my Goodreads TBR as well, so that could possibly use some work, but definitely what I'm bringing into my house I'm trying to be picky about, and considering my buying is down quite a bit, I think I'm being successful so far, and hopefully that continues through the year. I had some series I wanted to finish or to binge read or to try, and so far I finished The Conspiracy of Us and I finished The Naturals. I have not read Red Queen series, although my plan is to finish those by the end of summer. And I took off the Ember and the Ashes series because the 4th book is not coming out this year. It is going to be coming out next year. They pushed it back. And since I like to binge read to stay in the world, in particular those books because they are pretty chunky and time-consuming and thought-provoking, I took it off for this year. Binge reading, I binge read The Darkest Minds, and the other 2 series I have not yet. I have the Lorien Legacy series. There are 6 of them on the shelf, so when I say that I need to read 16 young adult books, like this could totally help that. I have not started that yet. And Ivory and Bone, there are 2 books in this duology. I am currently reading Ivory and Bone, so that's in progress. And the series that I wanted to try, I haven't gotten to those yet. An Expert in Murder and Onyx and Ivory, I haven't even started that yet. So again, something to look forward to in the second half of the year, I hope. And in big words, no book boxes, do not give in, be strong. And I have not gotten any book boxes. Yay! So I am doing. I think I'm okay for this year so far. Hopefully everything kind of stays the same with my reading and I don't give in or start getting weird, because I can do that. So I hope you didn't mind this sort of check-in and that I didn't do a tag or anything. I think this is kind of what I wanted to do and like where I wanted to go from now, and putting it out there on the internet makes it more solid. So I will see you later, and we will see at the end of the year how I ended up. So I will talk to you later. Bye.